Hi everyone, Ed Robertson. Thank you for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. We'll be back with a brand new edition of TV Confidential later in the week. In the meantime, please enjoy this clip from a conversation you may have heard before, but probably haven't heard in a long time. Please enjoy.
Hi, this is Lee Merriweather, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Tony Figueroa and Donna Allen are with us as they bring us This Week in TV History. Tony's segment, as always, is brought to us by our friends at Story Salon, Southern California's longest-running, regularly performing live storytelling ensemble with live shows every Wednesday night at the Art Parlor in Valley Village. For more information, go to storysalon.com, facebook.com/Story Salon. What do you have for us tonight?
All right, February 20th, 1946, Sandra K. Sandy Duncan is born.
Wheat Thins.
Wheat Thins, one after the other.
Yeah.
One of the few grown women I feel comfortable describing as cute.
Yeah, she had that at the time.
She was like, she was perky before Katie Couric.
Oh, long before Katie Couric.
Yeah.
And she was, what a wonderful actor.
Broadway star.
Yes.
She did some movies, but mostly television. And
she was Peter Pan on Broadway, yes?
Yes, she was for a while.
Yeah. Or was she Peter Pan? One of the two.
I believe both are correct.
She personified the character.
She was. And she had a couple of shows of her own in the early 1970s. I mean, you mentioned Funny Face. I think...
And it was Funny Face initially, yes?
It was Funny Face initially. It went 13 weeks, and then, if I remember correctly, I think she shut down production because of illness or some sort of complication. So it was a show that, it was not canceled. It was just they ended production, and then they brought it back the following year, same network, I think the same time slot. It was either a Saturday or Sunday night show.
Yeah, it was Funny Face, and then later the Sandy Duncan show.
I remember it was the exact same opening.
It was the exact same opening. They had a different cast. Tom Bosley, if I remember correctly, was part of the cast the second time. But I don't know if there's a case of losing momentum, because sometimes when you start something and you stop and you try to pick it up again, you lose momentum. But the second series did not do as well as the first series did, so they both only aired 2 sets of 13 episodes. But she was a fixture on Hollywood Squares and a lot of game shows throughout the 70s.
Yeah,
and
80s. The Sandy Duncan show, as opposed to Funny Face, was done with the 3-camera process as opposed to
all right, so it was done before a live audience.
Done before a live audience.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and her character, then they redid all the cast, and she worked for an advertising firm called Quinn and Cohen.
Her boss
was... Her supervisor was Tom Bosley.
Bosley, yeah.
Burt Quinn, yeah. At that point, she was, they completely revamped, retooled everything, which could have been a horrible idea, or obviously in this case... gave the show a little more time. Well,
as I say, I don't know whether it was illness or some other circumstances that brought the first show to an end. I just remembered it was not canceled.
And I do remember that this was the show that introduced the majority of Americans to Sandy Duncan, and the American public just embraced her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but remember, we're talking 1971. That's when she had her brain tumor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what. So it was illness.
That's probably okay. That's probably.
It was a brain tumor located behind her left optic nerve, and the delicate surgery to remove it. She recovered, and she lost her vision in the left eye because the eye was still tracked with her right eye. Duncan and her doctors elected to leave the natural eye in place due to its condition, and does often appear as though she does have a lazy eye. So.
Okay, that answers that question.
Okay. One of my favorite Sandy Duncan roles on television, anybody remember this? In Roots.
Oh, yeah.
She was the daughter of, obviously, the family, and I believe her friend was it Kizzy?
Kizzy was Leslie Uggams.
Leslie Uggams, and they were teenage girls together, and there's a marvelous scene where it's 2 teenage girls talking, and Sandy Duncan, oh yes, I'm related to royalty, I'm related to the British royalty, and Leslie Uggams as Kizzy, oh well, my lineage, I'm related to so-and-so in Africa. Oh, shut up, Kizzy. And later Kizzy is an elderly woman. And a carriage pulls up asking, and the woman inside asks for water, and it is Sandy Duncan's character. Recognizes her and says, "I'm Kizzy." And Sandy Duncan's character is also an elderly woman. I don't remember no darky name, Kizzy. And Leslie Uggams as Kizzy spits in the water and gives it to her. It was a wonderful performance. I'm like, my God, Sandy Duncan is doing this. And you hated her.
Yeah. Well,
that was the opportunity that Roots had. That you had people that were lovable on the big screen or small screen, and they got to play some really mean people.
Yeah, you certainly you get to stretch your muscles as an actor.
Let's also bring up something else about Sandy Duncan. In 1987, she joined the cast of a show originally called Valerie. And then when Valerie Harper left, it was called Valerie's Family, and then it was called The Hogans, and then The Hogan Family. So it had
Jason Bateman.
With Jason Bateman and Josh Taylor, and
I mean, to the extent anyone remembers that show today, it's because of Jason Bateman.
I think it really did help him. I mean, this was, I would say, the first big thing he had when he left Silver Spoons, because he left Silver Spoons to do his own show called It's Your Move, which was very funny.
David. He used to be
David Garrison.
Yeah, he used to be on Married with Children.
Yeah, he had some of the same producers, and Garrett Morris had a reoccurring on that, and it was a funny show, but it just kind of it would have been great for like a British sitcom because. Yeah. You know, you got like 8 good episodes out of it, and then they just ran out of stuff to do. So,
and I'll be honest, with that show, after Valerie Harper left the show, I never watched it again.
Well, now, I'm trying to remember, did she leave the show, or was she forced out of the show?
I'm trying to be polite, but I believe she was forced out.
I believe she was forced out.
I believe there were some disputes.
Salary?
Yeah, and also some creative control. That was another big problem that was going on. And I imagine you talk to 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different takes on it. But there were some storylines that they thought were a little sappy. They wanted some more realism. So I know there was some conflict with the storylines.
Oh, and realism, they killed off the main character.
Yeah,
title character.
You don't get more real than that. But there were and there were some retooling of it, and so you had a suburban family. I mean, the basic premise as Valerie was that she was a mom of 3 boys. They were all at that age where they were, beyond being a handful. And Josh Taylor, who has had an incredible run on Days of Our Lives playing 2 different characters, he was her pilot husband. So he would be gone for...
Valerie's husband.
Yeah. Long stretches of time. So he was a pilot. He was in the opening credits. You'd always see him, in the opening credits in his pilot's uniform. But often in the episodes, he would leave at the beginning of the episode and come home, a couple of days later and, kind of get a recap of the chaos that the kids started. And when they decided to kill off Valerie, that's when they brought in Sandy as Aunt Sandy. So that was Mike's...
Her sister or his sister?
His sister.
Okay.
And Josh Taylor also decided to leave Days of Our Lives, because he was doing both jobs at the same time, and dedicate more time to the sitcom, because he agreed with everyone that... it would make sense that if the mother had died, the dad would make an effort to be much more home. Yeah. So he took a certain amount of bereavement, leave of absence, and all that. So part of the premise was that a certain amount of time had passed since Valerie was killed in a car accident, and once Aunt Sandy got settled in, he would go back to work.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
Ed Robertson thanking you for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss our next episode.